Children, कैसे हैं आप लोग? Well, children, in the last class we have seen regarding the development of the endosperm. So as we know that in the double fertilization there is the process that is occurring is syngamy and triple fusion. So triple fusion is the first process which occurs due to the fusion of the male gamete with the secondary nucleus, and the resultant is PEN, primary endosperm nucleus, and subsequently the formation of the endosperm. And endosperm is the nutritive tissue. So what it is supporting? It is supporting the development of the embryo. So today's lesson is development of embryo. It is also known as plant embryogenesis. So you could have you just recalled from the first chapter, that is reproduction organisms. So there also we have seen the embryogenesis, isn't it? So embryogenesis is a very common word that is applied both in plants as well as in animals. So the development of the zygote into embryo, that's nothing but the formation of the sporophyte. So if you are recalling from your class 11th, so when we have seen that there are two phases in the plants. What are the two phases, my dear children? One is called gametophyte, another is called sporophyte. So gametophyte is haploid and sporophyte is diploid, right? And there's the alternation of generation, right? There's a life cycle that is occurring between the gametophyte and the sporophyte. So gametophyte will produce the gametes, and the gametes subsequently will undergo the fusion and develop the zygote, and zygote develops into the sporophyte. So today we are nothing but we are seeing the primordial forms of the sporophyte, how the sporophyte is forming. Well, children, let us see the learning objectives. First is to gain the knowledge of embryo and its formation. Second is to understand the development of dicote and monocote embryo. Third, compare the structure of dicote and monocote embryo, and then applies the learning experience to analyze the real life plant's embryo. A skill of drawing the structures of embryo. So after doing all these things, after learning all these things, you will also try to have a kind of practical experience that you would like to look into the embryo by dissecting it. Okay, children, that you can do when the our offline sessions starts, right? Well, so this is the picture of the dicote, how the formation of dicote embryo is occurring here. As you see that the stages of the dicote embryo. So actually you know that embryo is actually located towards the micropylar end, right? So because the egg apparatus is towards that side, right? Now when the fusion has occurred, the development into the two cell stage here, and that two cell stage, as you see here, there is a two types of cells are formed. One is called a basal cell, another is called the terminal cell. The basal cell, you can see they will develop you can see a tube-like structure. No, there is a tube-like structure. See, there is something that is on the both the sides. You can see that both the ends, there is a elongated portion are there, right? That means there is a bulged portions. Knobs are just like knobs are located in the both the ends. At the center, it's been connected by a thin thread-like structure. The thin thread-like structure, what you are seeing, children, that is called the suspensor. The suspensor is actually developed from the basal cell, and the terminal cell develop into the embryo. So you can see that towards this end, you can see that what you can see towards the top portion. No, that is slowly it is getting developed. You can see that they are getting the developing nature is happening, and actually what happens is the suspensor actually pushes this. That's another work of the suspensor also. The suspensor, what it does, it pushes this embryo. So you can see the stages of the embryo here, right? See, this is the globular stage is there, heart stage is there, and this is the adult form of the embryo, right? So there are different stages in which the transformation of the embryo will occur, and slowly the development occurs. So suspension, what it will try to do is it push the embryo towards the endosperm region. Okay, the endosperm region is present in the center. That means, like if you take a sphere, the embryo sac is like a sphere, and the center we will find the the endosperm is present. That is in the equatorial region, right? So the embryo will be pushed towards the endosperm, so that it can get the nourishment. So that is the work of the suspensor. It also provides the anchorage also. At the bottom cell, no, you can see a spherical, another knob-like structure. No, bottom, the topmost portion, the embryo is developed here. So towards the bottom side, that is on the towards the terminal end of the suspensor here, you can see that the another small bulb-like structure is there. That's called haustorium. What is that, children? That's called haustorium, right? So as I told you, these are the first is, I said you, the single cell zygote undergoes asymmetrical divisions to form a larger basal cell and a small terminal cell. So the larger basal cell it develops. That basal cell what develops into the suspensor, and the terminal cell develops into the proembryo. That is a primordial form, earlier development it is. Then the suspensor anchors the embryo. As I told you in the earlier slide, I was explaining you, the suspensor anchors the embryo to the endosperm and nutrient conduit for the developing embryo, and it try to ensure that the embryo is getting that nourishment from that endosperm. Is it clear? Then you can see the proembryo. That's what I said you. The proembryo transforms in this manner. That is from the globular embryo, and then it converts into the heart shaped, and from there it enters into the mature embryo. Okay. So can you tell? Name the nutritive tissue that is supporting the mature embryo. So this is a question for you. At there and there you will have some assessment, evaluation type. So can you name what is the nutritive tissue that is supporting this process, my dear children? Yes? Very good. That is the endosperm, right? Next. Well, this is about the monocot embryo. So as you see in the dicot embryo, we are studying about the monocot embryo. The monocot embryo, children, as you see that, you can see that again the same kind of formation occurs, 2 cell stage and all. So there is a particular place where they'll try to reach both the dicot embryo, the monocot embryo, the line of progress will be the same, and there will be a particular point where they will try to deviate, because monocotyledon they'll have only a single monocotyledon. So monocots have a more complex embryo structure in the mature seed compared to dicots, as early embryo development is almost similar to the dicots. The stages of embryogenesis in the monocots include the proembryo. So there is a proembryo is there, globular, scutellar, and coleoptile stages. So the scutellar stage is the globular. So this is where you should remember here. So the scutellar stage and coleoptile stages are present. So coleoptile is nothing but it is a covering of the plumule part, that is shoot part, and scutellum, that is what the name which give for a cotyledon. So dicots we have 2 cotyledons, and in this case only a single cotyledon will be there. That name is called scutellar. So that development also will occur. That is in the case of the monocot embryo, right, children? So please observe this diagram, how the transformation is occurring, how the changes are occurring from one stage to the another. Next. Well, so this is the differences between the dicot embryo and the monocot embryo. Alright. So comparison is there here between the A and B, and most importantly you should try to draw the diagrams and label the parts here. So as you see in the dicot embryo, the A is the dicot embryo here. So it shows the plumule. Plumule is the shoot axis, right? It develops into the shoot axis, and there are 2 cotyledons are there, and hypocotyle region, and then towards the terminal part, towards the other part, you can see there is a radicle in the root cap. And similarly you can see in the case of the monocotyledon embryo, see there is a scutellum. Scutellum is the name for the single cotyledon, as I said you, and coleoptile, that is covering, that is a sheath like covering that you see in the monocots embryo, but we don't find that in the case of dicots, right? And there is a shoot axis is there, and then towards the lowermost part, that is towards the lowermost part, there is a radicle. Radicle, you know that is the first that is a root like form which is actually giving rise to the roots. Actually it is the first tissue or the first primordial form which develops into the roots, right? And plumule is the one which develops into the shoot axis. Okay, right. And they have cleorrhiza. Cleorrhiza is the covering that is encloses the radical part, right? So this is the difference between the dicot and the monocot. So there. Next one. So there's a differences. You can see the differences here. Very beautifully the differences has been depicted for you. The dicot embryo, it has two cotyledons as you see in the diagram. It's situated one on either side of the embryonic. Okay, on the embryonic part it is present, on both the sides it is present, right? And coming to the monocot embryo, it has a single cotyledon. It has only a single cotyledon that is situated actually towards one side of the embryonic end, that is developed there. And the second difference that you find in second point that you find under dicot embryo is the plumule is not covered by glottine. That's what I said. Plumule is nothing but the shoot axis, right? They are not covered. And when you come to the monocot embryo, the plumule is actually enclosed by a sheath-like structure called cheloptile, right? And third point under the dicot embryo is coming to the is not, that means the radical part. The radical part is not protected by cleorrhiza. But whereas in the case of monocot embryo, that is actually protected by the sheath-like structure called cleorrhiza. So this is the differences that you find between the dicot embryo and monocot embryo. Next. Oh, something is asking. Something is for you. Wow, you know, you just identify this person. It is there in all your NCERT textbooks, right? Till the middle school level we have that. He is called Bujo, right? So Bujo, कुछ पूछ रहा है आपसे. क्या पूछ रहा है? Hello guys, tell me A and B. So what is A and B? Again another part of evaluation for you. Earlier one evaluation we have seen. This is what is A and what is B. Bujo is asking. So just recall. Just you observe the diagrams, right? So just you try to recapitulate what it is telling. So A is, what is A? That is the process for the development of dicot embryo. Very good. And the B is a monocot embryo, right? So that is what he is asking you. Children, there is some assignment for you. What is the role of suspensor for the embryo? Second question is assign the ploidy of the embryo in the globular stage. You have to give the ploidy of that. You know what is the ploidy? It is haploid or triploid or diploid, whatever it is. So you have to mention that. You assign the ploidy in the globular stage. Differentiate between the dicot and monocot embryo. Which part of the embryo helps in the development process if the endosperm is entirely consumed? So suppose the endosperm is completely consumed. So in the embryo, which part will try to support its growth? Yes. So it is a critical thinking question, no? So suppose completely the endosperm is exhausted, it's been consumed. So the embryo is still in the a developmental stage. It is not fully matured. It is not developed fully. Then who will support it, right? Which part of the embryo will support it? Next, draw the structure of the dicot embryo, and you have to label only two parts here. One is called the radical, and another is called epicotyle. Okay, children. Then name the cotyledon in the, what is the name that is assigned to the monocot embryo? Okay. Okay, then thank you. Be happy. Woo. Well, children, take care. Bye.